I'm back. I'm front. I'm three-dimensional, just like you. Although you're seeing me on a screen, so maybe you wouldn't know there's that third dimension, and probably more than three dimensions if you look at physics. Uh, I occasionally get asked how I became a paraplegic, so I thought in this video I would talk a little bit about it and tell the story how it happened. It started on a day in October 2019. I walked into a building and a woman there asked how she could help. And I said, well, about a hamburger, fries, and a chocolate milkshake. And she goes, you're in your doctor's office because you have a physical exam today? I said, oh, okay, that explains why it doesn't smell like French fries in here. Uh, so anyway, I was in for a routine physical exam. And the reason I did it is because I would swim every other day, 2 miles that I would swim, and I didn't go to a doctor. And my one of my friends who was swimming there said he had been to the doctor and whatever happened with him. And I said I haven't been to a doctor in a decade. And he said, why not? And I said, well, because I don't get sick. Nothing happens to me. I mean, I don't get anything. I don't need to. And he said, well, how about prostate? Because if many men can have a prostate issue, and if you get it looked and treated at early enough, then you can avoid cancer and and live longer and everything. And that convinced me. To my regret, it convinced me. But I started going to a doctor like every other year after that. So anyway, I was into the doctor in October 2019, and she looked me over, and my blood pressure was good, my pulse was good. My pulse was usually only around 50 because my heart's in good shape, and didn't have any diabetes type issues. I didn't have any weight issues, and when I was done with the exam, she said, well, do you want to have a flu shot? And I go, well, I've never had the flu, so I'm not afraid of it. So no, I don't need the flu shot. And my chimney flue is just fine, and I don't think that we're gonna have any trouble with with our fireplace or anything. So I wasn't afraid of flu issues at all. And then she goes, well, how about shingles? And I go, well, okay, the roof on the house. Well, we did have a tornado one time. And she goes, no, the kind that attacks your skin. I was like, oh, okay, that. Well, my brother-in-law had shingles once, pretty bad. One of our daughters, had it once, and I thought, well, okay, what harm would a vaccine do? So I said yes to the vaccine, and I think really I might have done it just so I could get the candy, when they give you a shot. So, but anyway, what happened immediately after the shot, in the weeks after the shot, every day I had nerve issues in my neck, and I had spasms. My legs were jumping around, and about a week later, I was driving for work, and I had such pain. I had such pain that I had to stop the car and lay by the side of the road till the pain went away, and then I was able to move again. And then my right arm died. It just completely died. It didn't move. Fingers didn't move. The arm didn't move. There's just nothing. It was, it just went away, and I was still going through immense pain. So I found my way into the emergency, and I was there for about a week, and they gave me steroids, which did not make me more muscular. It gave me some pimples that I hadn't had since I was a kid, but it didn't do, yeah, it didn't make me all muscly and everything the way it would have been fun. So anyway, I had that happen, and so I'm on steroids, and for about a month after that, I was on the steroids, and recovering, and my arm action came back before I left the hospital. But about a month later, November 26, 2019, so not about, definitely at a certain date, uh, I started having more pain and in my neck and in my abdomen. I couldn't go to the bathroom. I would sit on the toilet just trying to pee. I just couldn't. There's just pain. And then I would go lay down on my bed because of all the pain. It just kept going back and forth. And then my legs died, and my left arm died. not my right arm this time. And we called emergency, and I was in the hospital for a month. And after that, I went into rehab and everything. But my doctor, he was trying to figure out what was wrong with me, because they hadn't figured it out at first when it happened in October. And he came up to me after some tests and everything, and he said, "Have you recently had a vaccine?" And I go, "Yeah, I had a shingles vaccine, a week before I went in the hospital the first time." And he goes, "Ah, you have transverse myelitis." And I was thinking about that word. Transverse is to move, and mile would be like, I used to move a mile, and itis, so inflammation. So inflammation of the mile run. So I didn't understand what it was he was talking about. And he said, "Well, no, transverse myelitis is where your body has attacked the myelin sheath that goes around your nerves. And then your brain can no longer communicate with your legs and your arms or other parts of your body on that." And I said, "Well, am I going to get better from that?" He says, "Yeah, about a third of people recover fully, and about a third recover partially, and a third don't recover at all." And he said it's like a tree where the bark has to grow back. So maybe the bark will grow back in some cases, and other ones it won't. My bark never grew back, but it does explain why squirrels like me so much. Even my dog noticed I didn't have a bark anymore, because he's got his bark. But Big Pharma did this to me, and if it wasn't for them and their commercials and their going to the doctors and convincing them that everybody has to have shingles virus on that. I mean, my attorney's been chasing them for 4 years. They don't even want to pay for what happened to me. What they admit is something that they did. And in a way, I wish I would have done this by doing something stupid like falling off a roof or texting while driving. That way it wouldn't hurt every time I see a Shingrix commercial. I just want to throw something at the screen. But I can't throw anything anymore. My arms don't work my hands don't work very well, so I can't even throw anything at the screen. But but anyway, that's my story. That's what happened to me. That's why I am a paraplegic now. I'm coming up on my 5th anniversary in a couple months of being in the wheelchair, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to walk again. If I am, it's going to be because science did something cool. It's not going to be because my body recovered on its own. It's just not going to happen. But anyway, thought I would share my story. Thanks for listening and watching. And if you want to know more about me, my website is www.normcowie.com. That's Cowie, Cowie. And thank you very much for listening and watching.